Are you facing a health condition while running your business? Hello, YouTube family. Welcome in. My name is Jaslyn Kaur and I'm a business coach. In this video, I want to touch on a topic that is very important. So many times when we are an employee and we get a health issue, our employers, they pay us sick leave, we can go on disability, and we can sort of heal ourselves and then come back to work. Now, when you are a business owner, and especially if you are a business owner who's running everything by yourself, you're doing your marketing, you're also selling, you're also pitching, you're also outreaching, you are also trying to actually do your business, you're also making decisions about the future of your business, you're also being the accountant, the bookkeeper, the planner, whatever the case might be. When you are doing everything by yourself, and sometimes we have personal challenges, maybe you're going through a divorce, maybe you're going through a breakup, maybe you are going through a health challenge, and sometimes the health challenge can be so painful that you don't know where to go because you've been going to the doctors and that's not working out. You're not feeling energized to use your creative energy to put it in your business, and you're feeling burnout. And because you're worrying about money, you actually cannot even stop working on your business. I hear you. All of these are human challenges, right? All of these are adversity. Now, I am somebody who believes that we are the creator of our life. And chances are, if you're watching this video, there is a part of you that resonates from this message. There is a part of you that resonates that whatever we think and feel, we can manifest. There's a part of you that understands that you are the creator of your life. There's a part of you that already knows how to heal your own self through the power of your thoughts. Now, to explain this, I need to go into the foundation. Okay. Now, earlier, what was the old programming? Whenever we got sick, we would go to a doctor, we would get a medicine, and then we would be okay. However, getting the medicine is just sort of putting a band-aid on the cause, right? When you look deeper, why did that disease or illness manifest, you'll find a deeper root. And this is where pent up emotions, survival emotions, cause the body to go out of survival mode. And that's how the body gets out of ease and we attract illnesses, right? So, to understand who you are, you need to understand that whatever human form you're seeing, that's 0.01% reality. Okay. What if I told you that there's 99.99% of you that you cannot see with your human eyes? What if I told you you are emitting X-rays? What if I told you that there are forms of energy coming off your body? You're broadcasting energy, but you cannot see it because human eyes are not wired to see X-rays, gamma rays, Wi-Fi signals, radio frequencies, right? Just because you cannot see does not mean that there's not more to you. Okay. Beyond this human body, you're also spirit. Okay. Beyond this human body, you're also consciousness and energy. Beyond this body, you also come from source. So if you think of yourself um as X-ray. For example, you forget that you are Jazz. For example, I'm Jaslene. If I forget I'm a human, Jaslene, having a human experience on this planet, if I forget that for a second, I am left with X-rays, right? Now, if you just imagine, just play with me, okay? Now, imagine you are X-ray, okay? And now you'll be like, okay, I can imagine that I'm X-ray. I'm just a band of energy and I'm just emitting energy. Okay. I'm like the sun. I'm just emitting light through energy. I'm just emitting sunlight. Okay. Now, now you will say, Jasleen, if I'm an X-ray, how can I control what am I radiating? Great question. This is where your power of your thoughts come in. Okay. This is because every thought, okay, emits energy. Every thought, okay, imagine the sun comes up in the morning, and the sun gives us light, right? Now think about the light. The light is so strong that we are able to see outside, right? Like that source is, by the way, have you ever even thought how powerful the sun is, right? Coming back to that question. Now, if you understood that there is a certain sunlight you remitted from your brain, okay, that caused the disease. If you identified which thought was it, and if you thought about something else and you emitted a different kind of sunlight, you would have a different body, right? So the old identity who is unaware is thinking, does not believe life is created through thoughts, doesn't believe in manifestation, doesn't believe in spirituality, catches a disease. Okay. Now, the new personality understands that thoughts create our reality. So the new identity thinks, wait a second, let me observe all my thoughts, let me write down what I'm thinking, and then from this second, I'm going to catch myself from thinking something else. Okay. So now the old identity has to go away. That means I cannot complain. That means I cannot be lazy in my thinking. That means I cannot be a victim. I cannot be like, there is no solution. I'm going to experiment with my life, right? So, from this old identity where you have this health condition where you're thinking like business is not picking up, health is not good, love life is not good, and then you make a decision, no, I'm changing my life. I'm going to listen to Jasleen and I'm going to see if what Jasleen is saying is the truth. Okay, so what am I thinking? Oh, I was worrying about money. Okay, I'm going to stop worrying about money. Okay, my health is more important at this time. So I'm going to wire the opposite thought that I have always had money. Okay. Then in this identity, I always used to think like, oh my God, my mom was so rude to me. And that produced sadness. So I have to save my life. So I'm going to start thinking like, wow, my mom always loved me. I am what I speak. Whatever I think matters. Literally, I'm going to give you an example. Whatever you think matters. So let's say this is your brain. Whatever you think sends a frequency and it becomes an object, right? So if you're thinking your mom doesn't appreciate you and you are feeling resentment, and that resentment created a disease in your body, okay, then the new identity is going to be like, my mom has always loved me. And that you're going to broadcast a different sunlight from your brain and you're going to feel love in your body. And through this identity, new circumstances will be manifested, right? So the old identity, I have nobody, I'm so alone. The new identity, I come from God, God is within me, I'm never alone. Okay. Old identity, I hate my ex partner, he ruined my life, I'm just giving you an example, okay? And by the way, I am guilty of doing everything what I'm sharing with you, okay? I hate. Okay, let me think. Who can I hate this second? Yes, I remember my dad said this to me, and it's been 29 years. I'm gonna hold on to that so that I can stay in this illness and with the lower income and with nobody. Okay, the new identity. My dad has always loved me. My dad did the best he could. I forgive him. I let go. I'm excited for my future. I want more income, more health, more friendships, better partners. Okay. I hate my ex. Because of him, I'm in this position. And that thing is causing the illness. I forgive my ex. I let him go with love. And now I'm going to attract my soulmate who's going to love me 1,000 times more. Yes, yes. New identity, right? Old identity, new identity. Now, why am I saying, why is health so important? Here's the thing. If you don't have your health, how can you grow an empire, right? So, first thing first is to be a successful businesswoman, you have to prioritize your health. And health is a big value of mine because I used to keep everybody's needs above me, right? And I want to share this with you, okay? When you are not healthy, you cannot help anybody, okay? If your health is suffering, this is not the time to worry about your parents. This is not the time to worry about your friends. This is not the time to help other people. Okay? First, help yourself. Choose one thing that you're going to do. I highly recommend reading the book You Can Heal Yourself by Louise Hayes. Okay? That books also does a very fantastic job to explain it to you how we are, how whatever we think matters, whatever we think comes to life. So number one is promise yourself that from this second I'm taking full responsibility for my life. I'm not gonna blame anybody, and I'm going to change my life. I'm going to heal myself. In fact, when my friends are going to call and ask me, how are you feeling? I'm going to tell them that I feel great. I've always been healthy. What are you talking about? I'm going to stop identifying with the old story. I'm going to stop identifying with that financial loss. I'm going to stop identifying with the breakup. I'm going to stop identifying with that situation, whatever the challenge is, right? In business, every level has a challenge, and the game is to resolve the challenge so that you the solution you can get to the next level, right? So understand this, that if you're facing challenge, that is a great sign you have been initiated. When we want extraordinary results, we have to go through extraordinary challenges. Hear me out. If you are a woman or a man who's ambitious, who wants lots of money, lots of growth and abundance, you are going to be tested. Okay? If you know in your heart you're meant for something bigger, you don't know what it is, but you know in your heart you are meant for something bigger. You are meant to create a big change in other people's life. You're meant to help people. The only way you can do that is first god is going to send you a challenge so that you can overcome your own challenge, you can be empowered, and then you will have personal truth to teach it to other people, right? If I hadn't made a personal transformation in my life, I wouldn't be on YouTube talking about it. Back in the end of 2022, I was faced with betrayal, okay? Uh Ended a toxic relationship, had no support from my family emotionally. All of a sudden, my friends disappeared. I started having panic attacks, anxiety, depression, couldn't leave my bedroom. Can you imagine? In a foreign country, no community there, right? Could not, my mental health was so bad, couldn't not leave my room. 30 days went by, 60 days went by, 90 days went by. And then I asked myself, Jasleen, nobody is coming. Nobody is coming. I started hunting for knowledge. How can I heal myself? I have no money, I have no support, I have no friends, I have no energy. How can I heal myself? And I started reading the book Becoming Supernatural, started meditating. I used to hate meditating. I would cry. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to change my health. I changed my health, went back to school, became a therapist, became a coach, launched my business. And it's so funny. I started posting on Instagram and I thought I'll get clients for my therapy business. And somebody asked me that, wow, you're doing digital marketing. And I looked at them so confused, like so confused. What is digital marketing? Here I am doing digital marketing, getting clients as a business owner. And I didn't even know what that is called digital marketing. Still, I got clients. So, this is proof you don't need to know everything about marketing to get clients. You don't need, what you do need to know is you need to believe in your manifestation. Because here's the thing, once you overcome health, right? What is going to happen? You're going to have personal truth through experience. Then you're going to apply the same formula to what? To your business, right? You're going to, if in your health there is a new identity, there is a new version of you who's already healthy, who's radiantly healthy, has lots of energy, okay, is filled with the love of God, okay, there is that personality. And when I made that change in my mind, I stopped identifying with all my anxieties, all my what do you call, everything, because I noticed that I was feeling a lot of shame. I was feeling I was like, nobody, I was nobody's going, like I'm never gonna find somebody, blah blah blah, like throwing a huge pity party. And then I understood, wow, I'm the creator of my life. And I'm like, if I am the creator of my life, I can create a new relationship. I can create new friends. I can create a reality where I have a good relationship with my family. I can create a reality where I have my own business. I can create a reality where I'm financially independent and standing on my feet. I didn't take no for an answer. Keep going, right? After you change your health, after meditation, I started noticing my energy levels changed. I started feeling happy. I started feeling wonderful. So then I was like, if I could change my health, can I change my finances? Hell yeah, right? But I wouldn't be able to change my finances if I didn't change my health, right? When you try to change everything simultaneously, that's a lot on your nervous system. So make the decision that I am going to heal myself through meditation. I'm going to understand the power of mind, body, and spirit. I'm going to understand the placebo effect. I'm going to understand, like, I'm going to get more knowledge around this. And then I'm going to take action. I'm going to treat my own health, right? And when you make a decision that no matter what, I'm getting healthy, No, I don't care. I'm going to get healthy. I want to live my life, right? This is another thing. Before I made the decision to change my health, I asked myself, Jasleen, do you even want to live? Because honestly, a part of me had given up. I had such a major loss that my ego was crumbling down. I was going through a dark night of the soul, and I was going through a spiritual awakening. And there was a season where I was like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't be living life. And I'm not ashamed to think that, because anybody in my position would be like, yeah, like, who do I live for? I'm a nobody, right? So then I understood that my whatever reactions I was getting from my family, from my partner, from my friends, they they reacted that way because I thought so low of myself, you know. And then I was like, well, it's not my fault that my parents are like that. And then I read a spiritual book. If you go on archive.com, it's called Birth and Rebirth by Ramtha. Okay, I read that book and I understood that our soul matches us to parents, right, which make us learn some spiritual lessons. So in my energy field, I did not have assertiveness, I did not have self love, I did not have self confidence. So my soul matched me with parents who would bring up who, who would be more sort of like physically abusive, so that I can raise my power and I can be like, no, you don't get to do that, right? If my parents were super loving, I wouldn't be this bold. I wouldn't be this brave. I wouldn't be this outspoken, right? So my soul wanted me to be more bold, to love myself unconditionally, to be happy by myself, to be powerful. Okay? And I appreciate my soul so much, because if I didn't have those parents, I wouldn't be this strong. Does that make sense to you? Let me know in the chat. Whatever challenges you are faced, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's with your mom, dad, you are meant to learn a quality. Okay? If the quality is empowerment, you will be faced like life will present you disempowering situations, right? If you want to be financially independent, if you want financial abundance, you would be faced with poverty. Why would you work on financial abundance if you are not faced with poverty? Okay? You are the creator of your life. Whatever you think manifests. You can change your life completely. First, you need to change your energy. Okay? The old way of doing business was a cold call, DM, reach out, right? But the new way of doing business is first change your mind. If you think people will not buy your service or product, that is going to be a problem, right? Um, I know a lot of people have the belief that they get to manifest things beyond their doubts, beyond their fears. And that can also happen, right? So you can also set an intention that, you know, that I have doubt, I have fear, and my business or my health is going to be so great. It's going to be beyond my current doubts. It's going to be beyond my current fear. And that's how you show up for yourself every day. Did I wanted to meditate 2 hours every morning? No. I just wanted to watch Netflix and rot my brain and be mad at God. There were so many times I actually yelled at God, like, what are you doing? Right? So you can heal your body. Absolutely. Okay. Our body is so intelligent, you have no idea. Okay. All our nervous system, like all the organs in our nervous system, are extremely powerful. You don't have the idea how much power your heart has. Okay. Your heart has so much power that you are unaware of. And if you're not aware of your own power, you cannot tap into it, right? Our heart has oxytocin. Our heart has thymus gland. If we place our attention on our heart, that energy field, it's going to expand. And that unconditional love heals the body. This is why, like, all wise entities in the past have told us that love heals, because it is within us. And we think it's going to come from our parents, from our friends, from our family. No. If you cannot acknowledge the love inside of you, it's not going to show up even in the future. Heal yourself. Okay. And there's also an archetype called the logician in you, right? The logician in us, Carl Jung, famous psychologist, he, through his work, he introduced shadow work. And he acknowledged that every human being has different archetypes in their psyche. And there's an archetype called the logician. And this archetype will be like, how can you heal your body? Oh, this sounds too easy. Oh, this might work for Jasleen, but for us, it will not work. Oh, this might work for so and so, but but I am abnormal. I have been diagnosed this since childbirth. Do not listen to the logician. Understand that that's the logician archetype coming in, and you being aware that that thought is not you. You still get to change yourself. Okay. Tell the logician to shut up. And the moment you say that you are abnormal, tell yourself, no, I am supernatural. I am super powerful. I'm not abnormal. I come from source, sources within me, all around me. How can I be abnormal? You can do anything you put your mind to. Okay. I have witnessed enough miracles one on one in my therapy business, in my coaching business. I have seen enough manifestations where I'm just like, what the hell was that? There was some other mysterious force that was present. Okay, I have too much evidence to disbelieve in this work. And this is why I wanted to make this video, so that you change your life. This is activation. Full transformation happens in deeper container. Book a free 15-minute discovery call today and let's start coaching. Link is in the description box. I love you. You are unlimited. You can heal yourself. You can get wealthy. You can manifest anything you desire. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Okay?